While we're in the final stretch before the release of Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World, there's a little bit more time to speculate on if there's any characters that Nintendo may be hiding in this game. Whether or not it is characters that Nintendo's hiding in this game, or just straight up wishful thinking and characters I want to see in DLC, today I want to go over 15 characters that we need in Mario Kart World. With that being said, I'm the biggest noob on YouTube, Christendo, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe to the channel as it helps me out a ton. Last video, we got a total of 18 new subscribers to the channel, so let's see if we can top that with this one. While you're at it, if you want to talk to me and others about all things Nintendo, consider joining the ChrisCore Discord server. The link is down in the description. Now the way I'm going to go about doing this is by doing 15 characters obviously, with 10 of them being veteran characters that haven't appeared in this game yet, and the last 5 being completely new characters to the Mario Kart series. Starting us off at number 1 is of course Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong has not been seen in this game, which is honestly really surprising, considering the fact that he was heavily requested for Mario Kart 8 and finally returned to it in the Booster Course Pass, and the fact that he's not in this game is honestly baffling. Like, Nintendo, what are we doing? Where is very bricked up Diddy? On the same lines that number 2, we have Funky Kong. While not as many people were hoping for Funky Kong as, say, Diddy Kong, Funky Kong is a fan favorite character in the Mario Kart series. Like, honestly, if it's not Mario, I think that the face of the Mario Kart series is Funky Kong. And with him recently making his appearance again in the Mario Kart series outside of Tour and Mario Kart Wii in the Booster Course Pass, it's obvious that Nintendo knows that people love this character. So again, what are we doing? We need Funky Kong back in Mario Kart. Number 3 is a character that didn't appear since Mario Kart Double Dash before the Booster Course Pass, and that is of course PD Piranha. We have normal Piranha Plant as a playable character in this game, which is a really funny inclusion, but at the same time, if we're gonna have a normal Piranha Plant, we have to have the king of the Piranha Plants. I know he's not the king of the Piranha Plants, but I just want to make him sound cooler than he really is. He's a really cool character though, and for that reason, I would love to see him return in Mario Kart World. On the topic of iconic enemy characters, number 5, we have the first ever boss in a 3D Mario game, King Bob-omb. I was honestly surprised that he wasn't revealed for this game, because not only is he one of the most iconic bosses in the entire Mario series, but he was also in Mario Kart Tour, and if we're getting characters from that game like Monty Mole and Charge and Chuck as playable characters, why are we not getting King Bob-omb? Honestly, I would just love to see King Bob-omb as a playable character in a main home console Mario Kart game, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who wants him as well. I feel like that number 5 is a pretty obvious one. This guy was snubbed from a spot in this roster and got the item treatment. Nintendo, where is Kamek? Kamek finally made his mainline Mario Kart appearance in the Booster Course Pass after being neglected in Mario Kart 64, as well as I believe Mario Kart 8, and finally making his first appearance in a Mario Kart game in a mobile game. He finally got the justice he deserved with the Booster Course Pass when he was introduced in Wave 5, and honestly, like, I'm really surprised that he's not a playable character here. So many people wanted him. He's one of the most iconic side villains in the Mario series, with him basically being Bowser's right-hand man, so the fact that he's an item and not a character is honestly baffling to me. Nintendo, if you're gonna bring back any character that I mentioned in this video, it has to be Kamek. Anyways, moving into number 6, we have another pretty obvious character that I'm surprised we haven't seen yet. This is of course being Mii. We know that Mii's are going to be on the Switch too, so like, why are they not going to be in Mario Kart World? It could be possible that this is a character that Nintendo just hasn't shown off yet because, you know, Nintendo's weird. But if this is the first Mario Kart game since Mario Kart Wii to not have Mii's as a playable character, honestly, that would be really weird. I feel that out of all the characters I'm listing here in this video, if there is any hidden characters, Mii's definitely the most likely. So if I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mii in Mario Kart World when it launches. Character number 7 is a pretty obscure one that hasn't appeared since Mario Kart DS, this of course being Rob. I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, he's not a Mario character, so why would we have him in Mario Kart? But he was there before we got all these crossover characters, and he's not really a game character, he's just an accessory for the NES. So honestly, I feel like that if we're going to get any of these crossover characters in Mario Kart World, Rob would make the most sense. I don't know, just something about this goofy little robot being a playable character in Mario Kart DS was really funny to me, and I would love to see him return after not returning for so long. Character number 8 is actually just a grouping of a bunch of characters, these being the Koopalings. A lot of people were really sick of the Koopalings when we were in the 3DS and Wii U era, but with them not appearing literally at all in the entire Switch generation outside of ports of Wii U games, this might come to a surprise, but I think that a lot of people are starting to miss the Koopalings. They may not be the most interesting characters, and in Mario Kart 8's original roster, they were just filler, but I feel like that with there being such a huge roster in Mario Kart World, a lot of which being random enemies throughout the Mario series, I feel like that if there is any characters that deserve a spot on top of these random enemies, the Koopalings are up there. Character number 9 hasn't appeared since Super Mario Kart outside of having an appearance in Mario Kart Tour, but you know what? Honestly, I think it's time for us to bring back Donkey Kong Jr. While we have normal Donkey Kong already, I just think that bringing back this classic character that hasn't appeared since, the beginning of time at this point would just be really cool, as this would be the first time, outside of Mario Kart Tour obviously, that we have the OG crew back together in Mario Kart. I think that Nintendo is starting to consider Donkey Kong as the replacement of Donkey Kong Jr., which is unfortunate for the character, but it kind of just makes sense because Nintendo doesn't want to use Donkey Kong Jr. anymore. He's kind of just dead media at this point. But if they want to add some random obscure Mario Kart character that hasn't appeared in forever, Donkey Kong Jr. would be the perfect character to do so. And for our last veteran character, number 10 is Dry Bowser. We have Fishbones, we have Dry Bones, who is the best Mario Kart character by the way, but we don't have Dry Bowser. Like, I feel like out of all these skeletal reskins of characters, that Dry Bowser would be the most obvious to return, but we haven't seen him yet, which is honestly really weird. I definitely feel like that there's a possibility he could be a hidden character, which I don't know why they would hide him but not some other characters that they've announced, like the Moo Moo. But I think that Dry Bowser is a really cool character design-wise, so if he returns in Mario Kart World in some sort of shape and form, I would honestly be so down for that. As I've already mentioned at the beginning of this video, the last 5 characters are going to be characters that haven't appeared in the Mario Kart series yet. And with number 11, I think we got a pretty obvious one, being Cappy. I feel like it's kind of weird that we don't have some sort of representation from Super Mario Odyssey in any sort of Mario Kart game, and I guess you could say that Pauline is technically that representation because she was a big part of the marketing for Mario Odyssey, but at the same time I consider her more of a retro character than a Super Mario Odyssey character, so why not give the main mascot of Super Mario Odyssey that was along with Mario the entire journey into a Mario Kart game? I just think it's kind of weird that Cappy hasn't returned in any sort of spin-off ever since his debut in Mario Odyssey, so you know what, Nintendo, let's change that now with Mario Kart World. Character number 12 is Professor Egad from the Luigi's Mansion series. If I'm not mistaken, Egad was supposed to be in Mario Kart DS but was later removed and replaced by another character, so if he finally makes his Mario Kart debut in Mario Kart World, that would honestly be pretty great. I think it's kind of funny that we don't have any really old characters in this game, as in characters that look like they could be your grandpa, so you know what, why not let this old professor get behind the wheel and do some go-kart racing? Honestly, that would be pretty legendary. Number 13, I guess you could say, is another random Mario enemy, but you know what, why not bring Ninja into Mario Kart World? Ninja has been reappearing in a lot of Mario games recently, with him having a level in Super Mario Bros. Wonder and being a playable character in Mario Party Jamboree, so honestly, I'm surprised that he wasn't picked for Mario Kart World, but instead we got characters like Quincoffer and Contour. I think that Ninja has a pretty cool design. I like him as a character, he's a pretty unique one, so if he were a character in Mario Kart World, honestly, I think that he might be one of my favorite characters in the entire game. He's just such a cool character, and I would just love to see him in a Mario Kart game. On the other hand, number 14 isn't necessarily a character that I want in this game, but more so a character that I think is just destined to be in this game at some point. Number 14 is Baby Pauline. Nintendo loves making baby characters for all their mainstays, and with Pauline becoming more and more apparent throughout the Mario series and just Mario spin-offs in general, I think that Baby Pauline is inevitable at this point. We haven't gotten a new baby character since Baby Rosalina in Mario Kart 8, and if you watch my ranking video of all the characters in Mario Kart World, you know I don't like Baby Rosalina, or just the baby characters in general, but I feel like that if there's any of these new characters I talk about in this video that are gonna happen, Baby Pauline is unfortunately the most realistic. But you know what, I'm gonna keep hoping that this doesn't happen, and that we're just done with getting new baby characters in the Mario Kart series. And our final character at number 15, we have Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog is the best Mario character of all time. He's had so many appearances in the Mario series, and with him having a racer this year as well, it would be legendary if Nintendo brought Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, Nintendo's biggest mascot above Mario, into a Mario Kart game. But with that, that's 15 characters that we need in Mario Kart World. If there's any characters I didn't mention in this video that you want to see in this game, please let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to see what characters you want to see in Mario Kart World. With that being said though, that's all I have for this one, but if you want to see another video by me, there's a video on screen now where I give the Nintendo Switch one last look before we move on to the Switch 2, and I think you'll enjoy that one. With that being said, I'm the biggest nub on YouTube, Cristendo, signing off, and as always, goodbye, Nub Nation.